It seems like everyone is looking for ways to make money online now that so many people are quitting their jobs. I've been researching various ways you can make money online, and I wanted to round up which ones really work and which ones don't really seem worth the time. Hopefully, this will help you determine which options would be a good fit for you. The first and one of the greatest options is e commerce, which entails purchasing a product in bulk and reselling it online for retail. Once you have it going, it can be quite passive because many individuals utilize a fulfillment service so they don't have to store, pack, or send products. There are several opportunities to scale a successful product, and there is no upper limit to the amount of money you can make doing this. I think that the entire business sometimes get a bad rep since there are so many people offering dubious looking courses. You don't actually need to purchase a course. So many people have shared their free web tutorials for doing this. All of it is essentially accessible on websites like YouTube. Like any sector, there are always some shady characters, but earning money online through these channels is still legal. The majority of individuals often locate a product on Alibaba.com because that is fundamental business concept of any direct-to-customer product. Everyone often chooses this as their default setting. In essence, they construct a directory of all the manufacturers, allowing you to view prices, request customizations, and ultimately start an entire e-commerce operation. The majority of items in your home, particularly electronics, are not American made. The only way to discover a manufacturers for things like this in the past was to travel abroad and visit them. But these days, you can do it all online. Despite the fact that there is still work to be done and a lot to figure out, Alibaba.com does provide services like delivery, duty paid, and trade assurance to help protect your order and simplify shipment. There are many videos on YouTube if you want to learn more about this, but this one isn't a comprehensive lesson. I just wanted to mention that this can be a lucrative method of earning money. You should be ready to undertake all of that because it's essentially beginning of your own business. You don't need to start with tens of thousands of dollars. You may start with little. This isn't all that dissimilar from what many of these hugely successful direct-to-customer firms already do. And with the internet, creating your own brand has never been simpler. There are still many things you need to work out. It's not exactly a walk in the park, but it's a million times easier than it was before. Additionally, they are now running Super September, a twice-yearly campaign. It is essentially designed for people to load up on inventory before the holidays to avoid having to order tens of thousands of the same item. Many manufacturers also have a minimal minimum order quantities. You can start small if you want to, then grow from there. You can also discover manufacturers who can significantly alter the product's design. It involves creating an entirely new product, like, say, a movement watch. They began by purchasing goods from Alibaba, and today they run a business worth somewhere around $60 million. It appears like you can earn a lot of money from this if you develop a successful product and are skilled at marketing. There are a lot more you must learn, but the internet is filled with instructions on how to do it. The next one is blogging, which I think people tend to ignore. Many people, in my opinion, use blogging as a means of generating decent income today. If you run a personal blog without giving it a clear focus or direction, you won't bring much money, if any at all. Having a really particular niche site, like one about food, is the only way to really generate money from blogging. Even blogging about blogging and fashion blogging, as I have observed, does extremely well. It drives traffic from a site like Pinterest and uses a different revenue source than Google AdSense to monetize it. Mediavine is decently lucrative. The amount you get paid per thousand views for blogs can actually be astonishingly good, according to what I have read about achieving a really excellent CPM or RPMs. Because they can have so many adverts on their blog, their RPMs may potentially be above 10, which is really, really good. Any food blog you visit will be covered in advertisements. It's true that there are many, but as I have found, it's somewhat of the norm among food blogs, so nobody seemed to mind too much. So, if you can reach roughly 500,000 views per month on a specialized blog with a good RPM, you may be making $5,000 to $10,000 per month, not adding affiliate links or brand deals. While blogging may seem a little dated, there are bloggers who are doing well because of it. I would thus caution against ignoring it. If you enjoy writing about culinary or fashion blogging, Medium.com is another method to earn money online. It was really intriguing to see how you can make money on this site. It's more like idea pieces, so you can honestly write about anything and it's not even required to be searchable. In order for your articles to receive more views on Medium, you must submit them to publications. You don't need a ton of views to earn a respectable sum of money, as evidenced by one of the articles that received 12,000 views and earned $399. That's a far better rate than you'd find on YouTube. You won't gain any views if you don't submit to outlets. So you should thus be doing that right now. But there are people who make a living just from writing articles who aren't YouTubers and don't have a huge following or anything. One that is kind of enjoyable is Medium. Those who wrote these articles quickly were able to earn a respectable sum of money as a result. But if you work hard at it, you could earn even more. Although I rarely hear people actually discuss this, if you execute it correctly, you can end up gaining a considerable sum of money. Being a Fiverr vendor is the next way people are generating income. However, I would admit that it's rather widespread. I'm positive that many of you have already seen this CNN video. This girl earned $378,000 as a writer on Fiverr by ghostwriting books for customers, producing articles, and creating content. It worked because she writes so quickly. Finding a skill you are exceptionally good at and utilizing that is the key in this situation. To be honest, I doubt that this will be effective for everyone. Fiverr is certainly more of a side business, in my opinion, for the most part. Let's imagine you are skilled in graphic design or web development. You might sell those services on Fiverr for money. Unless it's for a skill you're exceptionally skilled at, it's generally not the best. If you're really good at it and quick at it and enjoy those kinds of things, you can make money here. Although I believe it's difficult, some people do make a living on Fiverr. Fiverr is a terrific option if you want to get started immediately, because it can take months or even years to start generating any money using these other methods, which are better in the long run. And last but certainly not least, my preferred method of earning money online is YouTube, of course. I felt compelled to include this because this is how I earn money online. I know that a lot of people believe that YouTube is extremely crowded and that it may be too late to launch a channel. But the reality is that monetizing a channel is really simpler now than it used to be. You can have many fewer views and still earn a lot more money. So, even 4 years ago, earning money with fewer views was more difficult. A few years ago, a video that received 300,000 views but only made a little over 500. This isn't even a $2 RPM. Recently, a video that has 337,000 views and a little over $3,000 in revenue. That is significantly more for a comparable number of views. It used to be that you need 1 million subscribers to earn a living off of it. Now you can make a living off of it with as few as 2 or 300,000. The key is to start out by producing videos that can be found online. Simply put, you must create videos that are searchable for your material to be found. You really can start off just creating vlogs about topics that you are familiar with. In fact, you don't even need to be an expert. Simply record your education in whatever field you choose. I'll argue that the title and thumbnail are the most important parts. On YouTube, there are a huge variety of channels and advertisers. It's incredible how many channels are available, including channels for knitting and sketching. These Procreate drawing tutorials have a lot of views, so let's choose a random one. Although it can be a lot of effort and not everyone wants to shoot, edit, or be on camera. I will admit that editing them is a lot of fun. It's not really for everyone, but if you ever wanted to give it a shot, I believe there has never been a greater opportunity. I believe that while blogging is definitely simpler than writing, it is not as nearly as entertaining as making videos. One thing to keep in mind is that it may take months or even years for all these methods, with the exception of Fiverr. There will be a point when it looks like nothing is working, but you must persevere through it. It may be helpful to remember that it may take some time, and that's perfectly normal.